Mr. Koulibaly, a very good evening to you. Thank you so much for joining us. Welcome to the Globe.
Thank you very much. I'm happy.
Well, French President Emmanuel Macron says this is another major success in the fight against terrorist groups and terrorism in the region. Is it really a success against terrorism?
Thank you very much. We can say that in some points it can be a success for the military coming from France and all the international community fighting against terrorism in the Sahel region. But in the side of the population, we cannot say that it's really a success because the population and most of the villages and the population in the center of northern part of Mali are not in total security and they are not able to do the common activities for living, for agriculture, for all of the things that they need to live as in peaceful way. So we cannot say that it's totally a success, but it's a way forward. So we need to continue the progress together.
Kasum, how do you view this killing? Is it a bona fide move by the French authorities to fight, terrorism and terrorist groups in the region, or was it simply a revenge murder? Remember that in August last year, Mr. Sahraoui himself personally ordered the killing of 6 French charity workers and their Nigerian driver.
Yes, we cannot say that the revenge, because the Malian army, the French army, the international community from the United Nations are working together to fight against terrorism. And during this fight, the terrorists also can kill the national people from Mali and from international community. So I can say that we need to have more success and to continue to kill all of the most people who are fighting against the countries in Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso. But what I can say that really it's a success when we will be able to eradicate the terrorism inside the Sahel region, and that we can have no more killing people from the both sides of the two parties. And I think that this situation is the next step. And we can say that we must continue to work hard and to overcome these security challenges in the region.
And for France to announce that the country will be dramatically scaling down about 4,000 troops in Mali, is this an indication that now that Sahraoui is out of the way, a bigger obstacle is certainly out of the way?
We can see that when you see the timing of this announcement by the president of France, we can say that, some days ago, there is a kind of news that the Malian army wants to link with the Russian, security company to come in Mali. I think that this decision and this announcement that the killing of Mr. Al-Sahraoui is a part of this agenda to see how we can need that, to say that we need more trust in the Sahel region than the Russian security private company. So I think that this is something we can analyze in the angle that France will want to remain in the context of Sahel region, but we need to see how we can get support from all over the world, from Russia, from Turkey, and for any country which can come to support Mali and the Sahel region countries in that situation of terrorism and jihadism.
And how much of a blow will the death of Sahraoui be to the Islamic State?
We can say that Al-Sahraoui is the head of Islamic State in Sahara region. But let me tell you that about his killing, I can say that it's something very bad for the Islamic State. But there is a lot of leaders of the movement, the jihadist movement, the terrorist movement inside the countries like Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso. And we cannot say that because this man has been killed, this Islamic State can be stopped. We need to go deeper inside the population and to eradicate the intermediary leaders who are still remaining in the context of these both populations and still leading the situation after the passing of their leader. So I think that they will have a new leader in place and they will continue. So we need to think strategically how we can eradicate this terrorism, inside the population people and to recover the villages and all of the parts who are in an insecurity situation now.
Yeah, and having said that, Kasum, the recent takeover of Afghanistan by the Taliban, how likely will it sort of embolden, the operation of militant groups across the continent?
We can say that we cannot compare the Taliban in Afghanistan situation with the Sahel region. That this is not the same issue. It is not the same component of the terrorism group. And we can say that maybe they can be motivated to do the same, but really in that situation with all of the international forces, European forces, American and French forces inside, and also the Sahel region for armed forces, I am not sure they can success like Taliban jihadists and terrorists have been done in Afghanistan. And I think that we are in a situation where we are preparing to overcome those challenges. And I'm sure that when we have been able to bring back, good governance and good justice system inside the population, I think that the population can also contribute to stop the progress of the terrorist groups inside the Sahel region.
What is France's interest in Mali and, by extension, in the region?
Sorry?
What is France's interest in Mali and, by extension, in the entire region?
I think that that Mali and most of the Sahel region have been colonized by France. And there are a lot of interest in Africa that all of the continents are coming inside Africa to get their interest. I think that this is a history of interest. But I think that they can come to the interest, but Africa also needs to have its own interest in place. So we need to have a common dialogue, how we can continue to have each other to work together and to get each other interest in that situation, but not staying here, but no solution for peace, no solution for security, no solution for good governance, and no solution for injustice in the country. So we need to see what kind of strategic work and working together to bring solutions that Africa needs, that Sahel countries need, that African people need in place. So all of the people, all of the continents can still living in Africa, and we work together to make wealth and to make jobs and to make the progress together.
Have you heard of any indications about any possible talks that have resumed, perhaps, in terms of finding a replacement for Sahrawi and the incoming head of the group or his successor or perhaps his replacement? How much of an impact do you think he will be? Do you think he will follow the same trajectory that was taken or adopted by Sahrawi?
I'm not sure. We are going to have a quick, replacement of the leader of Islamic State in Sahara region. But what is important to understand is that there is a lot of intermediary, leaders inside these terrorist groups, and those people are not, Arabic people or people coming from the Middle East. They are Malian people inside the population. And if you are not able to stop those intermediary leaders who are the same population from Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso, I think that the fight will not end in the best way. So we need to focus on the population people to see who are the real leaders who are living with the population, and to kill them or to stop them or to arrest them and to put them in jail and to get justice for the population. I think that this is the best way we can do that. Even if there is a new leader, I think that the intermediary leaders are the most people who must be arrested and killed than the top leader of the movement.
All right, Kasum Koulibaly, thank you so much for joining us this evening.
Thank you very much.
All right, that was Malian commentator Kasum Koulibaly from the capital, Bamako. On to other news now. Public anger has greeted a sharp increase in